Hey, what's going on with you? How are you? My name is Nick. This is me. How are you? Hey, check me out on Patreon. If you are checking me out on Patreon, please give a little dough. I've got 2 podcasts now, and I've got videos that I'm dropping and all kinds of cool stuff, and I do it all DIY, and it's all for free. So if you can donate a little money, $3, $5, $25 a month, anything, if you want to be really generous, that'd be awesome. It all helps very much. So please, when you can, please be generous and give. Patreon.com/NickD Show. Please give some dough. Speaking of podcasts, please check them out. I got 2 of them now. Every Tuesday, every Friday, the Nick D Podcast, which is a pop culture entertainment review podcast with me and Esmeralda Leon. And it's been running for over a year now, over 100 episodes. Please check it out. RadioMisfits.com, and also at RadioMisfits.com. My new podcast, we are 2 episodes in. 3rd episode will drop on Wednesday. And that is That Show Hasn't Been Funny in Years, an SNL podcast. I am an SNL expert. I've watched every single episode. I'm not exaggerating. Every single episode since it debuted in October of 1975. I've got an insane, ridiculous, wild, vast, insane, crazy knowledge of SNL that I'm going to share with you. Sometimes I'll have guests, sometimes I won't. Every show will be about SNL in one way or another, whether there are guests or whether there aren't. It is every SNL fan's dream podcast, and you must subscribe right now. RadioMisfits.com. The show is called That Show Hasn't Been Funny in Years, an SNL podcast. I call it That Show Hasn't Been Funny in Years because people who say that are morons, and I am proving with every single episode that I do every Wednesday. Every single episode of the podcast will prove that cliched and tired and boring sentence that people say is wrong. So, prove yourself wrong if you think that, because you're wrong. Or if you're a big SNL fan, you need to check it out. Great guests, great subjects, everything SNL related. Check it out now. Brand new, RadioMisfits.com. That show hasn't been funny in years. All right, I cut a lot of videos. I review movies on my podcast. I've been reviewing movies for over 37 years on the radio, in print, everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And I love movies. We are about 3 weeks into the new year. And it's always a little slow at the beginning of the year. You're always trying to catch up with the movies that are going to be nominated for Academy Awards, which, by the way, are announced tomorrow. And I already did a video, check it out, a little bit earlier here on my YouTube channel or on my Patreon channel. I predicted what movies I thought will be nominated in every category, all the major categories. I cut that video, so you should check that out and see what I think will be nominated tomorrow when the Academy Award nominations are announced. And so I thought I would preview what are the most anticipated, at least in the press, what are the most anticipated movie releases for 2023. And I will tell you whether or not I am anticipating them, whether or not I really give a shit about them, or whether I am really excited about them. So, at the beginning of 2023, here we are. We're only a few new movies like Megan came out, which has become like this spectacular pop culture thing. The robot crazy girl that goes apeshit nuts. It's fine. You know what? If you're drunk, it's a good movie. If you're not drunk, it's fine. People are losing their mind a little bit too much. I think you've been stuck inside a little bit too long, and anything that resembles sort of like counter comedy, you're going, oh, it's great. It's not great, but it's fine. Hey, you know what? I don't drink anymore, but let me tell you something. If I had had a few pops in me, I would have thought Megan was great. I didn't. I was sober, so I was like, it's kind of funny. I forgot about it literally 10 minutes after I saw it. And then there's Plane, which is the new stupid-ass Gerard Butler action movie. And as is typical, of all the years I've been doing this, and again, over 37 years I've been professionally reviewing movies, and I've been going to movies for over, 54 years, 55 years. And at the beginning of the year, it's always a little slow. So here, I'm looking at this article here on The Line that has a whole bunch of movies that people are looking forward to throughout 2023, and I'm going to start in February. And the first one that pops up here on the list is Knock at the Cabin, which is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's new movie. I guess some people are anticipating it. I am anticipating it to be a large, flaming, steaming sack of M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong shit. The guy has never made a good movie, except for Split, and the only reason that's good is because James McAvoy fucking rules in it. It's a dumb movie with a horrific ending that ties it to Unbreakable. So that's the only decent movie only watchable movie that M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong has made is Split, and it's only because of James McAvoy. Every other movie, and fuck you, I'm including your little Sixth Sense and your Unbreakable and your Signs, every movie that motherfucker has made has been a piece of shit. And the new one, Knock at the Cabin, I guess it's based on a book. It looks like he enjoyed watching Us. That's what it looked like to me. He watched Jordan Peele's Us, and he went, oh, I'm Shamalama Ding Dong. I'll rip that off and do a really stupid twist ending. So Cabin at the Woods comes out in February, or Knock at the Woods comes out in Knock in the Cabin, whatever the fuck it's called. People are looking forward to that. Magic Mike's Last Dance, which I wasn't really looking forward to until I discovered that Soderbergh directed it. But then I saw the trailer. Have you seen the trailer for this? Have you seen Salma Hayek in this trailer? I mean, I like the Magic Mike movies. I don't love them. I don't think they're the strongest. I think they're kind of sort of a little wacky aside for Steven Soderbergh, who's done much better, much more interesting, and much more serious works. But I like the Magic Mike. They're fine. But I'm all over if you've seen the trailer and you're a Salma Hayek fan, and as a heterosexual man, woo! So yeah, Magic Mike comes out February 10th. I didn't really give a shit until I saw the trailer, and when I saw Salma Hayek in it, all right. Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumanium, don't give a shit. February 17th, could not care less. Cocaine Bear, we've talked about this one. This is based on a true story about a bear who eats some cocaine, goes nuts, and kills people. Kerry Russell is in it. And I think it's going to be the greatest movie ever made. It'll be better than Citizen Kane. But seriously, it looks ridiculous, and I can't wait to see it. Cocaine Bear, that comes out on February 24th. Creed 3, which is directed by Michael B. Jordan. Both of the Creed movies are great. Phenomenal movies. Can't wait to see what Michael B. Jordan does as a director. I love him as an actor. I love him, and I find him super sexy. And so I'm very excited about it. March 3rd, Creed 3. That one I'm looking forward to. Scream 6, saw the trailer for it. Looks like a hunk of shit. Scream 5 was terrible. All you fucking people who thought Scream 5 was clever and it was all this meta. I've gone through this a million times before. The meta shit, I've got no patience for it. None. That last Spider-Man movie, meta bullshit. I'm tired of it. It's lazy screenwriting. It's a really easy way to, like, if you recognize this or recognize that, let's make it meta and comment on this. And back in the day in 1996 when Scream came out, Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven, it was new at that time to comment on a genre while you're making to comment on a genre while you're making a genre movie. That was a new thing, a brand new thing. Now every other fucking movie does it. Here's a comment on this, making the audience feel smart because they throw in inside jokes and Easter eggs and makes the audience go, ooh, I remember that. Ooh, I recognize that. This makes me feel off and fuzzy inside. Like we're the grapes in South Park. Remember this, remember that? It takes more than just member bullshit to write a good script. And this Scream 6 looks terrible. Terrible. It all takes place in New York. Hey, listen, Neve Campbell refused to be in it. That should tell you something. And the last one, Scream 5, was shit. And the same jagoffs who made Scream 5 made Scream 6. The trailer looks terrible. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it looks great. Oh my God, looks fucking great. It looks terrible. It's gonna suck. And that opens in March, Scream 6. Could not care less. Shazam, which is a sequel to a movie that I didn't give a shit about. Another, this is a DC movie, I guess. I don't know. Whenever. It's either DC or Marvel. And, I don't know. I don't give a fuck about any of them. But yeah, Shazam, that comes out. Don't care about that. John Wick Chapter 4. See, now, I love the John Wick movies. I do. I love them very much. I mean, they're ridiculous. They've gotten to the point where it's just like, all right, look, the plot makes it. The one complaint that I have about the John Wick movies is that they start taking themselves a little too seriously as they go on. Like the writers and the directors and the people behind it think that we should actually care about the character and that the plot should be complicated and filled with pseudo-intellectual details. We don't give a fuck about that. Keanu, guns, kicking ass, chopping heads off, blowing people away. Big, crazy, insane, one-take choreographed fight scenes, people getting shot. That's what I want to see. You're taking it a little too fucking seriously. That's the only problem I have with the John Wick movies is I don't give a shit about the intricate plots or the pseudo-intellectual stuff that you want to say. Give Keanu a couple of guns, put some people in front of him, have him kick him and shoot him in the face. That's all I care about. But I'm looking forward to it. And that opens up at the end of March. Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves with Chris Pine. I don't even know what to make of that. No. Super Mario Brothers movie, couldn't fucking care less. Could not care less. Renfield, the movie where Nicolas Cage plays Dracula and Nicholas Hoult plays Renfield. Looks way too much. I saw the trailer for it. Looks funny, but it looks way too much like What We Do in the Shadows and the relationship that Guillermo, as the familiar, has with those vampires. looks way too much like that. Looks like it's ripping off a lot of the same jokes, a lot of the same beats, and a lot of the same themes and styles from the TV show on FX, What We Do in the Shadows. The whole Guillermo familiar thing, it looks like that, only I'd rather see Guillermo, quite frankly. Now, I haven't seen the movie. It looks funny, but you know what, dudes? This movie would not exist if Guillermo and that What We Do in the Shadows didn't exist. So there you go. Let's see. Evil Dead Rise, the new Evil Dead movie. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking forward to it. All the Evil Dead movies, all the incarnations are great. The remake from 2013, the reboot from 2013, fantastic. Fede Alvarez, great direction. Jane Levy, one of the greatest performances by a woman in horror movie history. Absolutely one of the best female performances in horror movie history. Evil Dead 2013 is fucking great. The TV show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell coming back, my future ex-wife, the lovely, I love you, Dana, if you're watching, I love you, Dana. Dana DiLorenzo is in that. Everything. The trailer for this new one, Evil Dead Rise, fantastic. And the director of this movie made a terrific movie called Hole in the Ground, where a lot of crazy, over-the-top, weird shit happens in the woods. Think this guy's qualified to make an Evil Dead movie? The trailer's fantastic. Evil Dead Rise opens in April. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, based on the youth book, the Judy Blume book. I'm looking forward to this, and here's why: because the director and writer is Kelly Fremon Craig, who has not made a movie since The Edge of 17. The Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld and Haley Lou Richardson and Woody Harrelson is one of the best coming-of-age movies ever fucking made, ever in the history of coming-age movies. Coming-of-age movies, right at the top, at the very top, is The Edge of 17. And this woman who made that movie has not made a movie since then, and that movie came out in like 2016. So we're talking like 7, 8 years since this woman has made a movie. And so I'm really looking forward to it. In the Judy Blume book, everybody knows it. I wasn't very excited about it until I realized it was the same woman who made The Edge of 17. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a couple of Jennifer Lopez movies coming out, so fuck her. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. You know, I like those movies, but I'm getting tired of all this shit. I don't know. I guess I'm going to look forward to it's a fucking comic book movie and I don't care about them. I can't even fake the care. Now, on the other hand, stupid-ass movie series that I do love, that is admittedly stupid, that will take IQ points away from you as you watch it, are the Fast and Furious movies. I love them. They are as goddamn stupid as you can possibly imagine, and I don't want to get into an argument about that. Oh, can you like these movies? They're stupid. Yeah, they're fucking stupid, and I know it, but I enjoy many of them. Some of them are great. Fast X, looking forward to it. I don't care. It's going to be stupid as shit, and cars are going to fly around and do things that cars can't do in the real world, and I will laugh my ass off and have a great time. I don't know. Some movies that are really stupid and just flat-out, over-the-top entertainment, some of them I like, some of them I don't. It's just a matter of taste, and I'm right. The Fast and the Furious movies are hilarious, and I love them. Little Mermaid, live-action version of Little Mermaid, couldn't fucking care less. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I'm looking forward to this one. And as I've been bitching and moaning, as I often do, about how much I don't give a flying shit about any of these goddamn comic book movies, your little DC or your little Marvel, stick them up your ass. But the animated Spider-Verse movie from a few years ago, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, was fucking great. Incredibly well animated, really, really clever, did shit that no other comic book movie did it in an incredibly creative way, and unbelievably, magnificently, beautifully animated. And I can't wait to see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Probably the best Spider-Man movie ever made is the animated movie. And of course, none of the animated stuff showed up in that last stupid, bullshit, overrated nonsense, get me home shit from last year, the Spider-Man movie. Made no reference to the animated one. I remember the argument was, like, why didn't the animated guy show up? Why didn't the animated, the bunch of different Spider-Men from the animated movie show up? People are like, you can't have an animated character in there. It wouldn't make any sense. Oh, really? Really? It wouldn't make any sense to have the animated. I remember people actually, that was an argument. Like, you can't have the animated characters from the Spider-Verse movie. It's not the same universe. It's not this. And it wouldn't make sense to have an animated character. And, oh, really? But a giant dude made of sand? That makes fucking sense? That makes sense. But no, you can't have the animated one. It's not part of the same universe. All of this universe, multiverse shit, fuck you. It's stupid. It's an easy excuse, and I've said this a million times. The only reason that the multiverse shit exists is to get you to pay for the next movie. Let's kill a character off. Oh my God, no, they killed. It's okay. That person will be back in the next movie because you're going to pay $15 to see it. They don't care about you. They care about the money in your wallet that you constantly give up because you get teased. Multiverse, oh, that couldn't happen. Well, it didn't happen. Well, this could happen because it's another multiverse, and that's why this person didn't die and this character came. Fuck off. They came back because they want your money. That's it. Don't be naive, people. But anyway, the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie, the animated one, looks good. Hey, there's a new Transformer movie's coming out. Elemental is the new Pixar movie that's coming out this summer. Looking forward to it. Same writers as Inside Out. I got a feeling that it's going to have that same sort of feel to it. Inside Out. Fantastic. Pixar rules. The vast majority of Pixar movies are fucking amazing. They're great. They're beautifully animated. They're clever. They're beautifully moving, and they make you cry, and I'm looking forward to this one, Elemental. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, directed by James Mangold. I like the director. Saw the trailer. Could not fucking care less. Could not be less excited. The last Indiana Jones movie that your little Spielberg boy directed, that little movie with Shia LaBeouf and the monkeys and the aliens, one of the worst movies ever. And so, and I didn't like the third one, the one with Sean Connery, fuck off, that wasn't good. Temple of Doom is my favorite, and I like Raiders. Didn't like the Sean Connery one. The last one with the monkeys and the aliens was a piece of fucking shit. This one, Harrison Ford doesn't give a shit. He's 97 years old, he's grumpy, and the trailer, I just don't care. I don't fucking care. It comes out June 30th, and I don't care. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's going to be in 2 parts. Absolutely looking forward to it, despite the fact that Tom Cruise is responsible for one of the most idiotic movies ever made from last year. Inexplicably, the biggest movie ever, and inexplicably will be nominated for like 12 Oscars. Top Gun Maverick is a sequel to a piece of shit, and it is also a piece of shit. But the Mission Impossible movies are great. Christopher McQuarrie, incredible writer and unbelievable action director. The Mission Impossible movies rule, and I'm looking forward to this one. Comes out in July. Barbie, can't wait for Barbie, with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, directed and written by the great Greta Gerwig. It looks fantastic. The trailer, which kind of does a takeoff on 2001, looks clever and hilarious. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be fantastic, and it comes out the same day as Oppenheimer, which is Christopher Nolan's new movie. And guess which one I'm looking forward to more? Fucking Barbie. Oppenheimer, fine, dude. All right, yeah, whatever. I saw the trailer for it. I could not have been less interested in it. I run hot and cold on Christopher Nolan. He's made some really great movies, most of them one-word titles that start with I, but he also is responsible for the terrible Dark Knight movies. An Oppenheimer trailer didn't really do anything for me. Quite frankly, Barbie over Oppenheimer in every possible way. There's another Marvel movie. I like Brie Larson. I like Captain Marvel. Everybody hates her, which of course makes sense because that's why I like it. So The Marvels comes out. That comes out in late July. I don't know. The Exorcist, another reboot that David Gordon Green inexplicably wants to make. He fucked up Halloween, although I liked Halloween Ends. I did. I liked the last one. I did. I liked it. But there's no need for this shit. Even though Ellen Burstyn is coming back, and she's one of my favorite actresses on the planet, she was amazing, and she's reprising her role. Dumbest idea ever is rebooting The Exorcist, especially with David Gordon Green, who took a shit all over John Carpenter's Halloween. But there's an audience for it. I don't know. I'm interested to see it just because it's The Exorcist and just because Ellen Burstyn is back. But David Gordon Green, you fucked up Halloween, dude, except for the last one. Halloween Ends is good. But no need for it. Exorcist, fuck off. That opens October 13th. Dune Part 2. That's it. For me, there could be no movies released in 2023. None. Except for Dune Part 2, and I'd be happy. Like, I would absolutely be happy if the only new release of 2022, the only one, was Dune Part 2. I'd be like, I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. The first part of Dune that Denis Villeneuve made is extraordinary. The best adaptation of that book, the best cast, everything about it worked. It is a remarkable movie, one of the best science fiction movies ever made, based upon the best science fiction book ever written. And I can't wait for Dune Part 2. Can't wait for my boy, my crush, Timothée Chalamet, my Muad'Dib, to come back. Without question, by miles and miles and miles, the most anticipated movie of 2023 for any human being alive should be and is Dune Part 2. Fuck everything else. There's a new Hunger Games movie coming out. Let's see. There is Wonka. That's my boyfriend again, Timothée Chalamet, my crush. I love him. And it's another version of Willy Wonka. And this is very not an unpopular opinion. I think that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder one, don't like it very much. Never have. Always thought not very good. Like Gene Wilder in it, like moments in it. Every song is terrible. All the music is shit. It's a really annoying movie filled with really bad child performances. It's not a very good movie. In fact, it's a pretty poorly made movie. So Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is bad. The Tim Burton remake, or the actual adaptation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp from like 2008 or 2007, much better than the original and much more faithful to Roald Dahl's original story. If you're a fan of Roald Dahl and you like the Gene Wilder movie, you're an idiot. If you're a fan of Roald Dahl and you like the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you're correct. I don't know. I think this is actually backed by the Roald Dahl people, the same people that backed the Matilda musical on Netflix, which is available now with Andrea Riseborough. You should definitely check that out. It's great. But I'm really looking forward to Wonka. I mean, to have Timothée Chalamet play the part, perfect casting. He's going to be great. And I hear he sings well, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I have no doubt in my mind that it will be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. The musical version of The Color Purple, looking forward to that just to see what they do with it. There's a new Aquaman movie. Yay! Beau is Afraid, which is the new Ari Aster movie, his follow-up to Hereditary and Midsommar, and both of those movies are masterpieces. Ari Aster is one of the most endlessly interesting, risk-taking, ballsy, amazing writer-directors on the planet right now. The trailer looks insane. It looks a little too Charlie Kaufman for me. A little too Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman, motherfucker wore out his welcome real quick. Real quick. Like, and his movies, and the Charlie Kaufman scripts and the movies that he's written, they don't really hold up. Upon repeated viewings, you're like, yeah, you're kind of a one-note. You got a couple of tricks up your sleeve, and they're not very clever. So yeah, Charlie Kaufman, he can fuck off. But this movie, Beau is Afraid, I'm looking very forward to it. Joaquin Phoenix, who is an actor that sometimes I want to punch in the face, sometimes I love. And it looks interesting, and I love Ari Aster, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because Hereditary and Midsommar are amazing movies. Absolutely, some of the best movies made in the last 20 years, those two. So I'm looking forward to it, but the trailer's a little too Charlie Kaufman-like for me. A little too cutesy, Charlie Kaufman, gimmicky, Charlie Kaufman, get the fuck out of here. So there's that. And what is this? And then there is Golda, which is Helen Mirren playing Golda Meir. Because I guess she needs an Oscar. She hasn't had one in a couple of years. The Killer, which is David Fincher's new movie, which is based on the graphic novel, which they made a version of this past year from Korea, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But Fincher is making his version of this South Korean comic, or I should say graphic novel, sorry. But Fincher's directing it. His last movie was Mank, and it was great. Fincher, he rarely does wrong. Benjamin Button is the only movie that he's made that I think actively sucks. Everything else he's ever made is either great or fucking masterpiece. So I'm really looking forward to The Killer. And I hope it's different than what they did with the Korean version that came out this earlier, just a few months ago. Was not good. And then there is a Legally Blonde 3. I don't know why. Couldn't care less about that, but Reese Witherspoon is coming back. Legally Blonde 3. Maestro, which is Bradley Cooper playing Leonard Bernstein under a lot of makeup. A lot of people are bitching about the fact that he cast himself as that, and I can understand that. But Carey Mulligan is in it. He directed it and wrote it. Look, he made Star is Born, which is a terrific movie. So at first I was very like, I don't know. I still think it's weird that he's in it, playing Leonard Bernstein, but, he's a good filmmaker. Maxine with 3 X's. Maxine, which is the third in the Ty West trilogy. That started with X and then went on to Pearl, and now Maxine is the 80s version. So you've got a movie that was shot like it was in the 70s, which is X. A movie that was shot, even though it takes place in 1912, Pearl, which was shot like it was in the late 50s, early 60s, and then a movie that takes place in the 80s that's shot like it's in the 80s. It'll be very video-like. And it's about the porn star from X, the woman from X who becomes a porn star, and the horror movie that follows with that. So that's Maxine. Ty West, one of the best horror filmmakers alive right now, doing great work. And X and Pearl were on my best list last year, and I can't wait to see Maxine. And Mia Goth has become just a goddess, an absolute goddess. Rebel Moon, which is Zack Snyder's latest movie, that goes straight to Netflix, and it's about women seeking help to protect their colony. That's Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder. So it'll be long and stupid. Showing Up. This is the last one I want to mention. This is Kelly Reichardt's movie. She directed Certain Women. She directed a lot of other movies. And this is Michelle Williams and Kelly Reichardt getting back together. They've made 3 movies together, and which feature incredible performance by Michelle Williams. And she needs something. She needs something. Working with Kelly Reichardt is the right thing to do, especially following up the unbelievably terrible performance she gave in that stupid Spielberg Fabelmans movie. An embarrassing performance by Michelle Williams. Easily the worst performance of her career, and I'm including everything she did in Dawson's Creek and Halloween H2O. A terrible performance. And to watch the terrible taste of the Fabelmans out of my mouth, I need to see a Kelly Reichardt movie. And that is going to be coming out, and it's called Showing Up. And I've seen the trailer for it. It looks great. Michelle Williams looks like she's amazing in it. So Michelle Williams and great independent filmmaker Kelly Reichardt together, that's always going to be a treat. So those are the ones I'm looking forward to, and the ones that I don't give a shit about. And it looks like we're getting back to releasing more movies because, COVID shut everybody down for almost 2 years, and it's starting to get back to it, and people are starting to go back to the movies, even though the movie-going experience is still affected and still tainted by all this. People are still choosing to sit in their house because now, it used to be you had to go out to a movie theater to see a movie, and it wouldn't show up until a year later, maybe on video, and then a year and a half later on cable. Now you wait, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you can watch a movie in your house and not go to the theater. And a lot of people are choosing to do that. Here's the deal. Don't choose to do that. Because going to a movie is a singular experience. It's an experience that everyone should love and everyone should do as much as possible. So support these movies by going to a fucking movie theater. Don't sit in your house and go, I'll wait a month and it'll be on HBO Max. That's lazy. I know it's easy, and watching a movie on your laptop or your TV or your phone is ridiculous compared to going out to a movie with a bunch of strangers in a big theater, watching it on the big screen, the way it was meant to be seen. So here's my message to you people who are going to go to movies in 2023. Go to the fucking movies. Go to the movies. Don't, I'll wait till it's on HBO Max. I only got to wait a month. Fuck off. Get out. Go to a movie theater, support these movies, and make sure that movie-going experience, make sure that the Hollywood people know that the movie-going experience is still something that people want to do. Otherwise, we're going to get nothing but movies going straight to streaming, and that's bullshit. It's bullshit. So, for 2023, you need to make a promise to yourself, to me, and to all movie fans that you will actually go to a movie theater physically and pay your money and get your popcorn and sit in a movie theater with a bunch of strangers and watch a movie the way you're supposed to. Not sitting on your couch, not on a fucking laptop, not on your phone, not on your TV. Get out there, pay to see the movies, and make sure that the movie-going experience, as it's dwindling down, because all you motherfuckers keep waiting, I can't tell you the number of people who saw Banshees of Inisherin while it was on HBO. And that's cool because it's a great movie and a ton of people should see it. But that movie was meant to be seen on the big screen. All movies are meant to be seen on the big screen. So quit being lazy. Quit being like, oh, it's the same thing if I watch it on my TV. It's not the fucking same thing. So my message to you is Dune Part 2 is the only movie I really care about in 2023. And go to the fucking movies. All right? Sorry to be grumpy. But you're making me grumpy, staying home watching all this shit on streaming. You know better.